Hey guys, it's Brian from Davis Foot Orthotic Solutions. Welcome to another edition of our web series, Insights from the Speakers. Today we're going to speak with our guest, John Spiezio, who is the founder and the president of Sound Medical Billing Solutions. John will be presenting a lecture at our live monthly lecture series here in St. James. The course is entitled Strategies to Effectively Navigate the ICD-10 Highway. And as you know, this is a very timely topic due to the long anticipated and dreaded changeover from ICD-9s to ICD-10s. So I know there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of what ifs and how-tos out there. So John will be presenting on October 21st from 7 to 9 p.m. here in St. James for Davis Foot Orthotic Solutions. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay. So, John, tell us about your company, Sound Medical Billing Solutions.
Sound Medical Billing Solutions. We've been in business 10 years now. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary in May. And our very first client that we created the business for is still on our roster.
All right.
We focus all of our energy on the rehabilitation private practices. Physical therapy, first and foremost, chiropractic. Those two entities make up the roster of Sound Medical Billing Solutions.
All right, that's terrific. Can you give us a little background on the recent ICD-10 coding changeover?
ICD-10 is not new. It's new to us here in America, but it is not new. ICD-10 was actually developed by the World Health Organizations going back to 1983. Took them 10 years to create it in the 1980s. And the first country in the world, Australia, adopted it in 1993. From there, many other countries continued slowly to adopt from ICD-9 to ICD-10 to where we are now in 2015. The United States is the last industrialized nation in the world to adopt the 10th edition of ICD.
Wow, I didn't know that. We're a little behind, huh?
A little bit.
Okay, all right. So, tell us a little bit about the upcoming presentation.
Certainly. The upcoming presentation, Navigating the ICD-10 Highway. Look, it's being presented after October 1st, but quite frankly, there have been many people, many practitioners who have delayed their preparations leading up to October 1st. Quite frankly, waiting to the last minute was something that became commonplace because the United States delayed it year after year after year for the last few years. But quite frankly, as I've spoken to my clients and I've given presentations like this before, I've asked people all the time, and pre-October 1st, why is it certainly going to happen this October 1st, and which we know it has, is, well, last year it was a midterm Senate election.
Okay.
And the senators were not about to make an upheaval of the healthcare industry while being it on the backs of their re-election.
All about votes, John. All
Absolutely.
about votes. So tell me, what do you think is going to be the most difficult aspect of this whole changeover for the therapists out there?
Well, there's two aspects. The changeover is just that, a changeover. Every active patient in a practice's roster is going to have to be converted. So taking every single patient on October 1st and the weeks thereafter are going to have to be translated, like translating from Spanish to English, changing from one language to another. And that language becomes much more elaborate. So ICD-10, you must code to the highest level of specificity, where ICD-9 is much more general. ICD-10, left versus right versus bilateral, as well as injuries, much more specificity to injuries. Matter of fact, there are spots that you can submit up to 12 ICD-10 codes, where in ICD-9 you could only do 6.
So on a bill you now can do up to 10, 12? Is that what you're going to have to do?
No, you don't have to do it
Yeah.
because obviously every patient's going to present with something different. However, the specificity of coding will now allow you to report up to 12 codes.
So what are some of the strategies? Just briefly, what are you going to say in this course that's going to help the therapists that are going to attend?
Well, as our therapists come to us, they're going to be coming to us saying, "Hey, look, I have to work in 2 languages because if you're not ready and have learned ICD-10 over a long period of time, converting might be easy. There are conversion tools, although they're not specific, and you'll have to go greater and you'll have to do your research and use the tabular list and I will present the tabular list and how to utilize it. But then, when a new patient comes in after October 1st, well, are you going to code in ICD-9 and then convert? Or are you ready to speak the new language and diagnose in the new language?"
Don't you have to start with ICD-10 or
Well,
not necessarily?
Well, on October 1st, every active patient in
Has
a
to convert
practice
over.
is already active in ICD-9, and the therapists then have to convert. But now you have a new patient. If you're not ready for the new language, are you going to have to use the old language and then convert to the new one? I liken it to moving to Spain,
Okay.
and you only speak English, and nobody in Spain wants to talk to you in English. They only want you to speak Spanish. Well, in this case, you need to speak ICD-10.
Sounds a little scary to me, John. I'm worried. I work in, I do a lot of per diem work, and I work in 4 or 5 places, and I've only had 1/2 hour, very brief, not a lot of explanation on this ICD-10 coding changeover. So I absolutely don't know what to do. So I'm really looking forward to the course because I could use some insight. So let me ask you this question: who should attend this course?
Any therapist that is treating patients. We know that physical therapists, chiropractors, you are with your patients. Patients are presenting to you with their ailments, whether it be a disease or an injury, whether it be a new case or an old case. Any therapist that is working with patients and they're coming for care and you want to get paid, you need to know ICD-10.
That's an important part, getting paid, right? All that hard work that we do as therapists and chiropractors and occupational therapists. Well, John, thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and I'm looking forward to that course on October 21st.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it as well.
All right. Well, thank you, John, for spending time with us today. So there you have it, guys. Strategies to effectively navigate the ICD-10 coding highway, presented by Mr. John Spiezio from Sound Medical Billing Solutions. That's Wednesday, October 21st, 2015, from 7 to 9 p.m. here in St. James. And for more information, go to our website, www.davisfootorthotics.com. That's it for now. See you real soon for another edition of Insights from the Speaker.